Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television, and our first two guests in the studio today. One is no stranger because I've done so much with Kevin Merrill, with the Rotary Club, and someone who came in. I had her name Kelsey Bardwell. I thought, oh, she looks so familiar, and it's Kelsey Hinkle used to be, and she's grew up in Harrison. Her dad and I were great friends in Consolidated Youth, which I'm still in, shouldn't be, but he and I were very involved in youth programs years ago, and he's a wonderful person.
Small town,
and she's back in small town from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Right. Glad to have you.
And I lived in Tulsa for 14 years.
Did you?
Yeah, in Owasso actually, just north of Tulsa.
I was in Broken Arrow.
You were south of Harrison. Yep. Very good. It's good to have you back here. She's an attorney. She's joining Jim Sprott here, and she's going to be a young attorney here in town. And Kevin Merrill, being the outgoing person that Kevin is, immediately said, well, we need a very attractive young person that's just joined Rotary to come with me so that I can put her on the spot.
That's right.
Perfect.
So he said, Kelsey, go with me, and here she is.
I'm not so sure if you found the right person, but I'm glad to help.
Well, it's good. Well, listen, Kelsey, I mean, you've just been in Rotary a short period of time. She just joined. And so should we ask her, what is Rotary?
Yeah, surely after 3 weeks you know what it is. Sure. Right? Well, one of the things that attracted me to Rotary was its commitment to service above self. And there are several good civic organizations here, but that's what I liked about Rotary, is that our focus is on serving others before we serve ourselves. Yeah,
it's a great organization.
So what are the things that what organizations do you help out, and what do you do? Well, that's a good question. We have several things that we do. We support education. We give scholarships to high school seniors and single parents that are wanting to continue their education. We give to local organizations like Share and Care, the Sanctuary, the list goes on and on, Boone County Special Services. We help with nutrition and clean water projects, and we're also helping to eradicate polio. That's one of our major
And your
things.
dental clinic that you have is a very important part of this community. They started that back several years ago, if I remember, Kevin.
Yes.
And I've heard a lot of great comments about the free dental clinic for people that don't have insurance, you know, that really need dental care.
That's a great deal.
That's
wonderful.
Well, it's incredible. The local dentists help out. We've actually even got dentists that come from Eureka Springs that want to be a part of what we're doing here in Harrison. And so
there are good people out there.
Really, really neat deal to be a part of.
That is. Right. If somebody wanted to help out or become or do some or be in Rotary, how would they go about that? We would love to have new members in Rotary. One way is to contact us through the Facebook page or through Twitter, and I'm sure we have a phone number that I'm unaware of.
Anybody that's interested in becoming a Rotarian or finding out more about it could call me at the shop at 741-4252, or they could reach me on my cell phone number at 391-9639. One of the things, I was talking to Kelsey last night, and I said, look, I want you to come along and be with me on this TV station because you're the new face of Rotary. You know, Rotary for years has been kind of, unfortunately, known as an old man's club. You know, it's just a bunch of old farts sitting around at dinner, you know, thinking about how can we raise some money and give away to some you know, what good things can we do in the community. Which is all well, but it is. New generations, but, that's great. You know, she represents the new Rotary, the younger generation, the people in their, you know, their mid-20s and early 30s that are coming in and want to have an avenue. You know, how can we work collectively on community projects and also make a difference abroad? And so we're so excited to have her join up with us, and you know, now that she's come back to town, and so. How long has Rotary been here in town in Harrison?
How long has it been in Harrison?
Since 1919.
1919. Wow. That's one of the older organizations.
Coming on 96 years. This March will be 96 years.
That really is.
Very impressive.
You know, and I liked what Kelsey was talking about, and a good plug for Rotary. She wanted, there's a lot of good organizations that she could join, but she selected Rotary because of the many things that they do that interest you, I'm sure, and you feel is very important to the community. So that speaks well for the Rotary organization itself.
Absolutely. And the local club has done great things for years, and a couple years ago I was the person picked to say, hey Kevin, why don't you pick the thing we're going to do for the fundraising. And so I got a group of people around, and we had a little powwow about what could we do to raise some money and everything. And this last year, Main Street Service Center had donated a vehicle. We had taken a vehicle and done the work that it needed to do to make it a reliable vehicle, and then we gave it to a local ministry. And that was so well received, and it brought on such a good not only feeling, but also it accomplished something. There was a need, and we filled the need. And so I got with this group of individuals from Rotary, and I said, why don't we get a car and let's find somebody that's in need, that needs good, reliable transportation, and get it fixed up for them and give it to them. And we can do that at our annual spaghetti supper that we have every year at Colors Day. Rotary does a spaghetti supper that's a fundraiser. Meals are $6 a ticket. Children 4 and under eat for free. So that is coming up on February the 13th. That's Friday night at the high school. And so if somebody wants to participate in that, that's a way to help our Rotary Club give back to the community. But that night during halftime, we're going to be able to hand the keys over to Miss Nancy Dees, one of our local educators here in town. And we had sent out to the local agencies that we were talking about a few minutes ago and said, who do you know that would benefit from good, reliable transportation? And so we got these applications back, and a special group of Rotarians met together. They went through the applications and picked Nancy. Wow. And so a couple of weeks ago, we were able to go up to the school and tell her that she was going to be the recipient, so she can go ahead and get her affairs in order, insurance and so on and so forth, so that night whenever we hand her the keys, she'll be able to drive away. Wow. And we had so many people come up and say, you could not have picked a more deserving person for this vehicle. And it was just so awesome to be a part of that.
That is amazing.
And we're just really looking forward to it.
So she's a teacher and needed transportation.
Absolutely.
So what better person than an educator that's got to go to school every day to help them out? That is fantastic. I'm just curious about how many. I mean, this was a big to win an automobile. About how many people did you get that were trying to get the car, that needed the car, I should say?
Well, this is the first year, and so whenever we sent out the letter, there was a lot of people that got the letter and unfortunately didn't know what we were talking about. Okay. And so we didn't get as many applications as we'd like. We probably got about 10. Okay. And so I'm hoping that this will be an annual thing that we can do.
People hear about it.
That's right. Yes. And so we're already actually working on how can we better communicate what we're trying to do so we can get a broader spectrum of applications in.
So hopefully next year we'll do the same thing.
Absolutely, yeah. We're looking forward to it.
Okay. Now, we got about 3 minutes or so. They're also selling tickets to help, and tell about the Eureka.
Sure. We're selling raffle tickets. We'll be drawing the ticket Colors Night at the halftime. These tickets are $25 a piece for an opportunity to win a Eureka Springs weekend trip over there to the Basin Park Hotel, and they've got a real swanky restaurant there apparently, and so the 2-night stay over there and a delicious meal for 2, and so we're going to draw for the opportunity for that night. The tickets are $25 a piece. They can either get a hold of Kelsey, because I know that she'll have some. That's right. And and any Rotarian in town will have those tickets.
Have them. Okay.
But we're doing that. We're also asking people that to come to the spaghetti supper. Come that night, and even if it's just to take your dinner out or take your family out, you can't buy a meal nowadays, not even at McDonald's hardly, for $6 a person.
Right.
That's a drink and the whole.
That's a drink, match. The spaghetti, and it's
and
good
where's that
spaghetti.
at again?
It's at the high school.
High school.
In the cafeteria.
And we'll be doing it. The meal starts at 4:30 and goes to 7:30. They can also, we're using the K-Life barn. If somebody has a ticket, or if they don't have a ticket, they just want to drive up to the K-Life barn, they can come up there and purchase the meal that night.
Take it with them.
Right, and take it with them. So it's a drive-through to-go deal. So they don't have to come up and mess with all the traffic at the high school. We will have the car on display out there in front of the high school that night. We'll be selling the raffle tickets up until time to draw the ticket for the car. And then we're also asking for sponsorships. If somebody wants to sponsor, we've got different, like a oil change sponsor level, a tune-up sponsor level, tire sponsor, transmission sponsor, and engine level sponsorship.
Okay.
So we've got different levels of sponsorships, and they come with a certain amount of tickets, spaghetti supper tickets. They also come with a certain amount of, for instance, if you're a transmission or an engine sponsor, you get 20 of these chances. So you know, you get, it's a great value.
So like of a business one to buy them
Absolutely.
and give them to their employees or whatever.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Well, that sounds exciting. Rotary does, again, they're just one of the greatest organizations in the area to get involved in. And we've had them on the show many times. And Kevin's been here numerous times. And there's a lot of great organizations in Harrison.
Yes,
I don't want to put any of them down. But this is wonderful to take a person like this that needed transportation, who's a teacher, an educator that the children need, and to make them the presentation of an automobile. That's
well,
fantastic.
We're real excited about it. And Dennis and Tabitha, thank you so much for having us on again. We always appreciate
You're
it,
welcome.
everything that you're doing for us.
Anytime.
Thank you.
It's all. Kelsey, it's great to have you back in town.
Thank you. It's good to be home.
Good to have you around here. She's got 4 wonderful children.
Oh, my.
And I asked her what she did in her spare time. She said take care of the children. So she's an attorney. So she's an attorney, and her husband works for Verizon.
Yes, sir.
And so they're going to be a part of the community, and it's great to have you back.
Yeah,
wonderful family that you had.
Thank you.
The Hinkle family was wonderful. Kevin, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. Kevin and I have known each other for many, many years. He's a great client of TK08, and anytime we can help, we want to make sure we help you guys. Thanks again, and good luck, and hopefully maybe try to get up there, maybe get a shot of, if we're not there, maybe take a picture of, with your camera or something, of the lady when she gets the car, so we can put it on the newscast. It'd be
We'll
great.
definitely do that.
So we can give you some more credit on doing that.
Thank you very much.
We're going to take a quick break, be back in a moment, and talk with a young lady from CASA about a project they have going in the area on Connection.